paint my pickle. Sonny's Easter Eggtacular goes off with a bunch of hitches. Amanda gets locked in a room. Happy is having a major identity crisis. And oh my gosh, what is going on with Hailey and what is going on with Nick? I don't know. You guys, it's the season finale of Happy here at AfterBuzz TV.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
Guys, the buzz is beginning. It is happening. Oh my gosh. It is the season 2, episode 10, season finale of Happy. And this is the Happy After Show here at AfterBuzz TV. OMG, I am Nikki Bailey. I am joined by my fantabulous co-host, Ricky Vitucci.
How you doing?
Oh my God, I'm so mad at you and what you just did with your mouth. I mean, you guys, if you're listening, you couldn't see it, but he did some crazy stuff with his, he's a very attractive man, but that's not your look right there. Don't do that again, Ricky. I can't have it. Anyway, guys, last episode of the season, so much to talk about. We are going to get into it. We're going to talk about cute little Hailey and the big adult crazy things that she did in this episode. We're going to talk about sex and the magic of alcohol in that man's life. We're going to talk about Orcus and the deal he strikes with Sax. We're going to talk about what happens to the imaginary friends, and most importantly, we are going to get into Happy's evolution. Oh my gosh. Let's start with general impressions because there's so much to get into. I want an overall overview. Ricky, how did you feel?
Sick episode.
Super
From top
sick.
to bottom,
Yeah.
beginning to end, middle, and so on and so forth. Such a good episode. We just see so many things, some things coming to an end, so many things evolving even more, new partnerships partnering up, a little girl now becoming a complete assassin killer.
Basically.
I mean, she's not far from the apple doesn't fall far from the
Okay.
tree. Like father, like daughter.
Like, you know what? And I have to say, here's my take. My hot take is how y'all gonna wait till the last episode of the season and drop all kinds of bombs on us that we have to wait a year to find out about?
hopefully it's
What?
not hopefully
No, they
it's
get
not a
into
year.
season 3. I'm sorry.
No, they're
Oh,
definitely getting a season 3,
Okay.
but hopefully it's not a year.
I think it will be.
No,
think
it's not
it
the
will
Game
be.
of Thrones.
I don't know. We'll see. I just know that if I don't get answers, let's start. Okay, let's just start. Let's start with young Miss Hailey. So last we saw young Miss Hailey, she had just been served a plate with 5 chicken fingers and a gun in preparation for her assassination plans that Smoothie has given her to kill Sonny Shine. So this episode, we see her, she gets to Shine Towers. She's standing in line in security, freaking out because she's got a gun in her pocket. She's 9
9.
with a gun in her pocket.
She's not even double digits yet.
Not even double digits. She gets pulled out of line by a
security
security guard who is actually one of the guys, one of the inmates from the prison. So this guy is obviously working for Orcus. Takes her to a VIP room where Orcus finds her, and then they go and meet Mr.
Sonny Shine.
Sonny Shine.
Fantabulous Sonny Shine.
Now, did you feel like when you saw that Orcus brought her to Sonny, were you thinking she would do it
Inside the dressing
in the
room?
dressing room?
Yeah.
Me too.
That was my first thought. I was like, oh, okay. It's going to happen in the dressing room, and they're going to say he killed himself or something.
Yeah, like I thought that, like, because originally we kind of thought it was going to happen on stage, and so like when he brought her to the dressing room, I was like, what are you talking about? That's
Yeah.
not going to be right.
For sure.
And then, of course, Sonny, when he speaks to Hailey, realizes who she is, and she, Hailey, scary little girl that she is, turns on the charm. Did that not make your skin? I was a little like, ew. I can't believe Hailey could charm him so easily.
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, Hailey is quite the little girl.
She is.
She's
And
quite
then,
the 9-year-old.
and then they dress her up. I mean, I don't want to. Okay, I said we weren't gonna go in order of the show, but there's like you can't talk
Bo
about
Peep.
things out of order in this show because it just doesn't work. But right, they dressed her like little Bo Peep.
Yeah.
With a basket and a bonnet and the whole nine, which was an interesting callback to the fact that we already have a little Bo Peep on the show who is a nymphomaniac imaginary friend.
Oh my God, is this a sign for something?
I don't know if it's a sign, but I definitely felt like it was kind of like, to me, on par in terms of loss of innocence, right? So little Bo Peep, the imaginary friend, is a total nymphomaniac, which takes away the whole innocent sweetness of little Bo Peep. And now you have little Bo Peep dressed, like Hailey dressed as Bo Peep, who is going to assassinate someone. So, I mean, it just was like a really interesting, I think, way of taking this beautiful, no, maybe not beautiful, but this really sweet childhood imagery and twisting it in this perverse but fascinating way.
Yeah.
So then Amanda gets locked in a room by Smoothie because Smoothie drugs. Remember at the end of last episode, the last thing we see is Amanda having to stick Sax in the butt with some kind of drug.
Yeah.
Come to find out, the drug kind of immobilizes him. Amanda thinks she's going to maybe, take a shot at Smoothie, but Smoothie's like, I don't really need you. I will kill you. I need...
Nick alive.
Right. So he locks Amanda in a room.
Yeah.
She's trying to get out. Meanwhile, Smoothie drags Sax to the audience. It looks like they have box seats at the Shine Towers Theater.
It's the balcony seats.
At the balcony seats, and Sax can't move.
Yeah.
And Smoothie offers him some champagne
And then pours it on
and
him.
pours it all over him.
Gives him a champagne shower.
Champagne shower. But the important point about the whole champagne thing, though, is Smoothie says, oh my gosh, you can't have any alcohol because it will mess up the effects of the drugs that I injected you with.
It will dilute
the drugs.
which then will make Nick come out of this
Out of the stupor.
paralyzation of the drug
Exactly.
and then beat the shit out of him.
Which I love that they gave us that little information because we already know that booze are Nick Sax's power drink. Like that's his
It's his happy.
It's his happy, right? And it gives him like
Life
and strength and stuff. So I'm super what's going to happen there? So we go back to Sonny having this conversation. Remember a few episodes ago, maybe 4 episodes ago, 5 episodes ago, and there was that wishy who died, and so they had to hire someone to wear a costume?
Yeah.
That guy comes back, and Sonny hires him to play the Black Rabbit. Did you... I thought that the Black Rabbit was just Smoothie's invention. Do you think that the whole time Smoothie was wearing the Black Rabbit costume, that was because Sonny made him? I thought it was kind of his own thing that he was into.
I honestly feel everything Smoothie does is because someone's asking him or telling him to do
You think?
something. That's just I don't know, that's just the impression because he's under the spell, I guess you want to call it, of Orcus.
I don't think Smoothie's
don't think so?
under spell. I think Smoothie motivates himself. And I think that... So I'm thinking that, the costume with the Black Rabbit, we knew the Black Rabbit was a bad guy because that was what's responsible for the nuns dying in the beginning.
Yeah.
Right? So then the Black Rabbit comes and Sonny sets up this whole elaborate scheme so that the Black Rabbit comes and he sets up this battle sequence so Sonny ends up triumphant on Easter Day. But he doesn't tell the guy that he's actually literally going to die. So I was like, first of all, did you think when you saw the Black Rabbit in the studio control booth, he killed someone?
I just want to go back for a split
go back.
second. Sonny was hinting to this, to the actor in the Black Rabbit suit that, and I think even the actor who was playing the Black Rabbit was making sure that the ending wasn't really going to happen because he says to him, so about the ending, can we
play it real?
Yeah, so he was
yeah.
kind of afraid that Sonny was so full invested in it, and really wanted to kill this person, I still don't get how this guy is a like. I don't understand how children love him. He's evil. He's creepy, and he's just not children friendly.
Children like a lot of weird, creepy stuff. Like
Yeah, but that's he's not even-
Teletubbies.
Yeah, but that's
Barney. All
But they
that
don't
stuff.
like. It's just weird. He just has this aura, this like weird aura about him.
Yeah, I like Sonny though. I think that I would probably,
I
if
would
there
not
was
allow
a,
my kids
if
watching
there
it.
was a Sonny Shine, I might actually go with Sonny Shine for Halloween this year.
Okay.
Just because I love everything that Sonny wears, and he's just so extra and over the top. I might go with Sonny Shine for Halloween. Okay, wait, we digress.
So I'm not shocked that that's what happened because
Right.
Sonny was so involved in actually
Right.
playing it all out.
So it all goes down. The bunny comes on stage during the Egg-tacular. Sonny does his whole heroic "I'm saving the day" swinging from the air thing, and ends up killing the bunny. So interesting because right before this, Hailey sings this song. Did we know Hailey could sing? We did not, but she was delightful and so sweet. She sang a song with the lyrics, "I wish I was bulletproof." So then the black rabbit comes on stage. Hailey's still standing there waiting for her opportunity to shoot. And then the black rabbit gets his head smashed. I thought that the black rabbit getting his head smashed on television was enough to destroy children's hope.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, like they didn't, like
Yeah.
the whole extra, like, so then obviously Amanda gets free. I'm so disorganized today. I'm sorry. Am I not making sense?
I was just
Go ahead.
you're making like complete sense. I was just going to go back 5 minutes to where Happy. So Nick's the only person that could actually touch Happy.
Mm-hmm.
So Happy finds Nick and gives Nick beer.
Oh right, yeah,
So he-
yeah,
so he
yeah,
could
yeah,
come
yeah.
out of his little
That's why I'm
spell.
saying, like, I'm like disorganized
Fine,
because
fine, it's fine.
because I said we weren't going to talk about it in the order of the episode, but I really feel like we have to.
It makes sense.
It does make sense. So yeah, Happy realizing that he can't get Amanda out of the room she's locked in, Happy goes through the lock of the
Yeah.
door and in the process unbolts the lock.
And doesn't even know.
Doesn't realize
that
it.
that he unbolted it.
Right.
He's just filled with a bunch of things that he's not even knowledgeable of.
He didn't even know that. So
Yeah.
now we see that Happy can affect people and things around him.
Yeah.
So he goes to Nick, who's still paralyzed, and he says, "You know how I think the only reason that you can see me and touch me is because you believe in me. So believe in this." And Happy produces his own can of Happy brand beer. It was like Pabst Blue Ribbon,
Yeah.
but with like Happy's
Yeah.
own little thing.
Yeah.
Which is great because it gives Nick exactly the charge he needs to be able to go ape shit and come for Hailey. Hailey at this point is on stage, gun pointed at Sonny Shine's back
Yeah.
after Sonny's had his big, moment. And just as Hailey's about to pull the trigger, one parent's on one wing, the other parent's on the other wing, and they're trying to explain to her not to do it. And
She does it. And then Nick jumps in front of Sonny and takes the bullet for Sonny, which he took the bullet for his daughter because he didn't want his daughter to actually kill someone.
right.
So he took the bullet. Technically, he took the bullet for Sonny, but he really took the bullet for.
So that Hailey
His daughter.
wouldn't feel responsible for murdering Sonny.
Right. But
now,
then the mom.
yeah. So Amanda's like,
Sonny's
this will
heart.
not stand.
Yep.
This dude kidnapped my kid,
Impregnated
me. We shooting him. So she shoots Sonny Shine
and kills him.
and kills him in the most Sonny Shine way.
Bye,
'Cause he's-
Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. Because he's not going to just go down.
No.
Sonny falls into the audience.
And
Sonny has a moment with his kids.
dramatic
A
moment.
dramatic moment where he works the crowd and puts his autograph on a girl's forehead in blood.
so weird. And you would
Tragic.
want your kid to. He's weird.
So
if
weird.
if I saw Sonny on the street, and I'm not a violent person by no means, I would punch him in the face.
If I saw Sonny Shine on the street, I would ask him for a feather boa or some glitter.
Why am I not surprised at
I know, that's so my thing. So what did you think of? You noticed this before I did. When Sonny's in the audience and he's moving through the kids, what we see on their shoulders are
all the imaginary friends start popping away.
First we see them, right?
Right.
Because we see that all these kids have imaginary friends, and there's all these different. Every kid has one on their shoulder, and then when Sonny finally collapses and dies,
They all go away.
all of the imaginary friends start to disappear.
Which they all lose. So Sonny basically gave all these kids faith in these imaginary friends.
Well, I think kids already have faith in imaginary friends. I think that that's already it. I think that seeing this was what Orcus wanted, right? Seeing your childhood hero get shot on screen is enough to ruin your hope. And so without hope, kids don't have imaginary friends.
Right.
So we already knew, right, that imaginary friends die when their kid dies, right? So they exist only because their kid believes in them.
I feel like it's not, because the kids were still alive. I feel like it's when their faith dies.
When their faith dies, or if that child were to die,
Of course.
then the imaginary friend.
Yeah,
would.
yeah.
So Happy, who is now Nick's imaginary friend, goes to the hospital because Nick's been shot by Hailey and he flatlines, guys.
And dies.
Nick Sachs.
Look, I just got the
Did
chills.
you get his hair is standing up on his arms, guys.
If you could zoom in, I don't think you can.
I wish we could zoom so you could see.
Whoa.
The man has goose pimples from the fact that Nick Sachs.
No, Nick!
Not Nick!
Not Nick!
No! I know. It's so much. It's so much. Obviously, Nick Sachs is not really going to die. He's the star of the show.
I mean, Maloney.
Come on, Christopher. Star of the show and executive producer, right?
Yeah.
So his job is secure. So we know he's not really going to die, but I loved that we get to see Nick Sachs's version of the afterlife.
Oh my God.
Tell me what you thought about that.
That was epic. He's in an inferno, and Orcus is like visiting him before he goes into the pearly breasts.
Instead of pearly gates,
It's the pearly
there
breasts.
are pearly breasts.
There's some very, very beautiful pearly breasts up there.
They were nice looking boobies.
They were
and
beautiful. A grade.
And she says that they're filled with bourbon and that you could suckle at her teats for all of eternity.
If I loved bourbon, I'd be suckle at them every single second of the
You
day.
think?
But I hate bourbon.
I like bourbon, but
The smell of it makes me want to throw up.
All right, well, that's not a good combination
No.
then. But the whole idea of it's a shame. It's a shame. I wish they could actually. Anyway,
I'm sure if you find someone who's like an alcoholic, I'm sure they
maybe
kind
they
of
have
taste it. Yeah.
booby, like booby milk that's alcoholic.
Mother's milk, which is alcoholic milk now.
But even that whole idea, right? That we said, booze is kind of Nick's
Boobs?
booze. Alcohol is Nick's sort of thing, and that even in the afterlife, that's what he wants. I also loved. What'd you think of Nick's scarf in the afterlife? Did you catch that? Did you peep that?
I saw a bunch of. I couldn't figure out what that all was.
It was the 10 Commandments.
Oh, okay. I was like, what is all this scribble on his scarf?
I love this show. I'm sorry. First of all, that Nick has a scarf for every occasion, which is wonderful.
Yeah, he
But that
does.
he had a scarf for the afterlife
Yeah.
that had the 10 Commandments on it. Please. Thank you. I loved it. So Orcus shows up in the afterlife, says to Sonny, dude, listen, you still have work to do. And it's not enough for Nick to offer him to go back for Hailey, because he already feels like he's ruined Hailey's life. But Orcus offers Nick revenge. And that Nick wants.
And ownership.
And so, right, because explain the deal.
So the deal is, Nick could come back to life, and as Orcus is explaining to him, I could bring you back, Nick is like, why is it so hot in here? And then they cut really fast to Nick in Inferno because he's being cremated.
But wait, don't you think, though, when you first see the flashes of fire, didn't you think he was in hell?
No.
I did. I thought, and this might be my, like, Baptist Christian upbringing. Like, I was like, oh, see, he went to hell. It might look like heaven with all those boobies, but he might be in hell because he keeps saying how hot he is with the flashing, fire.
I saw the bag, though.
Oh, see, I didn't catch that at first. I thought it was,
That's what made me be like, oh, okay, he's getting cremated. But would they put you? I don't think they would put you in a bag.
I don't really
I have
know.
no idea, and I will never know. But yeah, so while Nick is in this, knocking at the pearly gates,
the pearly breasts, right?
Pearly breasts, those pearly breasts. Oh.
So Nick's there knocking at the pearly breasts,
and Orcus is like, I can bring you back, but I own you forever.
But he says, I can bring you back. Nick agrees to it. And then just as it happens, he's like, oh, and by the way, I own you.
I own you forever.
Which goes perfectly with the show, which began with a flashback to 11 years ago. Nick had just been kicked off the force for misbehaving.
11 years before.
11 years before. Blue, when he's still Blue, this is before Orcus has taken control of him. So Blue Scaramucci shows up in the bar where Nick's hanging out and says, dude, a man with your kind of talents and skills should not just be retired. You should come work for me. Offers him a wad of cash. Now, and a picture of a guy
who he has to kill.
Of a person who we don't get to see.
It's like half of his face is in the light and half of it is dark.
Right. So what we don't get from that, what that flashback doesn't actually tell us, is if Nick does the job or not.
Huh.
So we don't know. Did Nick actually do some illegal work for Blue Scaramucci 11 years ago? What do you think? Do you think he did?
I don't know. I think maybe yes, because he was probably very desperate for money and the wad of cash was pretty thick. And since he just got laid off of the force, he's like, shit, I'm working for someone who has ties and there's a nice pretty penny over here. I'll kill this guy. You know what? Fuck it.
Maybe.
I'm like 12 Jamesons in. I might as well do it.
Right.
I don't know.
I feel like we're going to find out more about that next season because what I thought was so interesting about that, they set it up so that paralleled exactly now Nick belonging to Orcus. So it was at one point Blue's trying to own Nick.
So then no. Actually, I think you just helped me answer. I think Nick says no. And then finally Scaramucci gets him to
as Orcus gets him after the afterlife. I like that. That's a good idea. I think that feels right to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
quickly,
sure.
Do you think they came up with his name Scaramucci from the Queen song? Scaramouche, Scaramouche, to you to the fandango.
Thunderbolts and lightning, very, very frightening. Galileo! We're not going to do the whole song.
Sorry.
We were tempted. Thank you. So, I mean, maybe, right? Because that whole song is all these references to names for Satan, right?
I think so.
Beelzebub has a devil put aside for you. So maybe the devil put aside for you is Scaramucci. I don't know. I don't know what I saw the Queen movie, but I don't think they explained those lyrics. No one's ever been able to explain those lyrics to me, but that's okay. It's a great song. Thank you, Queen.
A great film.
Freddie Mercury forever. Anyway, okay, so this all goes down. Before we continue, though, I want Ricky. Would you tell our AfterBuzz friends how we feel about them?
We hate you. No, I'm just kidding.
We do not.
I'm kidding. I love you so much that we love you so much that I just want to say thank you so much for making us the ESPN of TV talk. And without you, there would be no us. And without us, we would not be here and give you guys some amazing content. So thank you so much. So please, subscribe below. Click that red button you see so you get notifications when we're doing amazing content. 2, if you're listening to us on iTunes or on our podcast, please like, subscribe, and rate us 5 stars and comment and let us know how you feel, how you thinking, what's going on, how you doing about the episode. And finally, the message from me and the AfterBuzzers out there in this world. We love you so much, and thank you for being such loyal and amazing fans. So thank you.
Thank you, AfterBuzzers. We love you. Oh my God. Okay, so here's where we are now in the story, right? So, Sonny Shine's been killed.
Yeah!
He's down.
Woo!
Children everywhere.
So happy.
Children everywhere have lost their imaginary friends. There has been, as Happy finds out later when he goes to his imaginary friend bar, the bartender, who is a weird wooden doll, tells him,
Cleaning the table with a dog.
with a puppy, tells him that there was a mass genocide of imaginary friends. Orcus's plan has worked. Children all over the world have lost hope. All of the most of the imaginary friends who were still connected to kids at the time are gone. And now Happy's trying to figure out who he is.
Which I find to be kind of interesting.
Say more.
Why is the wooden guy who's boning Bo Peep?
He's not. The stick guy.
The stick
twig
guy.
Uh-huh.
And then Bo Peep and Happy are still alive.
Okay, so do you remember way back, there were several episodes ago, they told us that, so Bo Peep actually explains to Happy that you need to leave your kid, because if you stay with your kid, when your kid stops believing, you die. And so Bo Peep is a rebel imaginary friend who left her kid so that she would stay alive. And so did the few others that are left, obviously must have done the same thing. Refugees from the world of imaginary friends.
Got it.
That's my take.
Okay.
However, we already know that Happy is more than just an imaginary friend. And Happy is now starting to realize that he's more than an imaginary friend. He is so upset. He goes to find Bo Peep, because that's the only person he has left. He goes to find her. This hoe, up in the back room at an imaginary friend bar,
Eating a ho-ho bar.
getting her swerve on with a twig creature and some chattering happy teeth.
What was the happy teeth? I was so confused.
My understanding of that was that the teeth
Was it going down on her?
sort of like a mouth. Yes.
Oh.
You're so explicit. Let's be G-rated.
The show is not G-rated,
I'm
and
just
no
kidding.
kid is watching
You're
this
right.
show. We have 21 and above watching this show.
So true. So yes, I think the chattering teeth.
The
were,
chattering teeth was eating her vagina.
Oh, I like how you get clinical about the like. Okay, yes, I think that's what was happening there.
Expecting it to make
yes.
it sure.
So Happy is so distraught. He leaves there upset because he doesn't have anybody. He doesn't know who he is. And as he's flying through the air, he's like bumping into things and making physical contact with them. He makes somebody drop their coffee. He hits a street sign. He's not even noticing.
Which caused people to look.
Right. And so Happy is obviously able to affect the world around him. Happy is growing.
Yeah.
Happy is evolving. Happy, the episode is titled Resurrection. Happy
Is
resurrected.
Yeah.
So and we saw before Happy and everybody left the studio, there was a moment where Orcus looks up and he sees Happy's shadow, and Happy's shadow is huge and looming over him. And I think Orcus realizes that Happy's power is growing. And so that was like symbolizing Happy's power growing. Happy's so upset, he shoots up into the air, up into the sky, and he asks, "What am I?"
What's going on? What is my purpose?
And then
Who was that person? It was like God.
And then God, in the form of a cloud, with the voice of Jeff Goldblum.
Why can't I put a face to that name? I know that name.
What? You don't know? What?
I know the name. I can't put a face to it.
Here's why Jeff Goldblum was playing God in
Oh,
this episode.
he's
because he's in Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
Ian
Was that
Malcolm in
his
Jurassic
voice?
Park. Yes.
I didn't recognize that.
Oh my God, he's the one of the most recognizable voices
I
in
didn't
the world.
recognize it.
Okay, Jeff Goldblum, in
Shoot.
my opinion, is a god among men, and so therefore he can play God in any situation. However, that being said,
Wow.
I'm gonna say this is the one moment in the entire show that I disliked.
Why?
Because I felt like they had shown us so much. This whole show is about showing us these amazing, sensational images. And then we get this conversation that Happy has with God, where God tells us a bunch of stuff. So it's almost like, to me, it's almost like they ran out of time for the season, and they were like, oh, we have to get this other information in. How do we get this information in? And they do it with this conversation with God. And the information is basically God saying, look, I don't talk to people. Like, I am not down here, like, getting involved. People are doing that for themselves. People are the ones, creating the world, and the people ignore me, and that that you, Happy, should focus on what you do best. That you should focus on being a friend, and then lists all the people who might need a friend. He lists Hailey and Amanda, and he lists Sax, and he tells Happy that Sax is still alive, and then he says, and also there's some witch assassins who have like an evil witch society, and now Sax is a half zombie in service of the schizophrenic demigod. And yes, this is the magnificent Jeff Goldblum.
That picture is amazing.
A beautiful artist rendering of him from Jurassic Park playing Ian Malcolm.
And the beautiful butterfly just floating off of his hand.
Because he talks about the butterfly effect in that movie. That is one of my all-time favorite movies. Jeff Goldblum is one of my all-time favorite people. I have seen him and met him in person. He hugged me. Thank you. Anyway, so what did you think of the conversation with God?
I think you're still mad at the Game of Thrones like ending. So any ending to a season finale, you're like, that's just bullshit. I can't believe it. This is what they do. You just talk everything through it instead of acting us.
Okay, he is not lying. I am still angry. Okay,
she is so
but
tight.
That is not what this show is about. But you're right. I am still angry, and so maybe I am holding the season finale of Happy to a standard that may be unrealistic. And I apologize to everyone at Happy if I am doing that. You guys have had a stellar 2 years, and we love you.
Yeah.
You're right. I apologize. I'm being a little too hard on the show. I do have to say that. I left, like, that conversation did leave me feeling like, okay, well, now we are set up for season 3.
Yeah.
So,
for sure.
Before we get into our final end of season predictions and what have you, let's talk a little bit about our special segment, our haha moment. That is the best laugh.
That's amazing.
Please save that laugh so we can use it again. That was fantastic. Okay, so what were your haha moments?
I would have to say, Sonny getting killed.
Really? That made you laugh?
That made me laugh. I was so happy. Not even kidding. I was so happy that he finally died.
Okay. My haha moment was after the doctor called Nick and said the time of death.
That was fun.
And Happy is like floating near the doctor's head, and because Happy can now move physical things, the air near the doctor's head is moving, and the doctor's like, "Do you feel that? Do you feel that breeze?" And the nurse in the room is like, "Do not even start." Now I, as an actor, hate it when they ask me to do sassy black woman. I am a sassy black woman. I do not need us to continuously play into that stereotype. However, in that moment, it was highly appropriate because had I been the nurse in the room, I'd have been the same thing. Do not even talk to me about ghosts and souls and spirits and stuff. I don't mess with that supernatural crap. If you even start that shit, I'm leaving. That's what she told him.
Yeah.
I loved that moment. Uh-huh. And that actress needs her own show. Thank you.
But do you think that the doctor actually felt something?
Yeah, I think the doctor felt
played
happy.
It off as in he was playing around.
No,
he didn't want. Well, because he was more of like when Happy spoke to him, he stopped, and then I think he was serious, and to the point where she was like, come on, don't joke around again. Like, it's kind of like a thing that he
I
does.
think it's a thing that he does when someone dies.
Yeah.
But I think he really did feel air moving, and I think it was. I think it was Happy's wings.
Yeah, but
but
I think he played it off as it was in another joke.
Oh, I didn't really think he was joking, but
okay.
But I thought that was a hilarious moment. So the other thing we're going to talk about, another new special segment that we're doing here at AfterBuzz, we're talking about our top 3 moments. So they can be your top 3 moments of this episode, the top 3 moments of the season, rather. So what are your top 3 moments if you had to go back over this last season? What would you say?
I'm gonna say Happy. I'm gonna say how Happy, how he has evolved. So in the beginning of this season, how only Hayley could see Happy, and then boom, all of a sudden he leaves Hayley, and now only Nick could see Happy, and then boom, to the last episode, now we see Happy have all of these skill sets. He's evolved so much as an imaginary character, now not so imaginary anymore. I mean, still is, but to certain people. Just those 3 moments. Those they're not specific moments, but these time periods in his life in this season have been so great. You know, he's this on the last episode, him just being able to see him not even noticing that he could do things and help people out.
Right, still evolving and doesn't even know himself what he's capable of. My 3 favorite moments of this season. 1 would have to be Nick on the toilet wrestling the alien goo that he had just pooped out. Yeah. That made me holler and scream. The episode where all of the convicts escape and they come to Nick's house and he beats the crap out of them and they do all those amazing freeze and pan shots. I thought that was so beautiful, wonderfully filmed. I just thought that was I talked about that, that part of the show because it was just visually amazing. And then I think my 3rd favorite moment would have to be tonight, the way that Smoothie died.
Oh, yes.
So, Nick comes back to life. It's 6 months after all this goes down. We see Smoothie get a delivery. He gets a package that has a record album in it. He puts it on, turns it on, enjoying himself. And then suddenly, Nick's sax is behind him.
Right behind him.
And it is an amazingly hilarious, intimate moment. These 2 old friends who are
they were never friends.
But it was like they were treating each other in the fact that they were adversaries, like friends. And Smoothie really did feel like the person who was going to take him out was Nick Sax, and he was happy to see him. Yeah. And then Nick proceeds to unscrew his head.
Oh, 7 times.
And with every turn of the screw, Smoothie's smile gets bigger on his face.
I didn't catch that.
You didn't catch that?
No.
Oh, it was so funny. And then at the end, he leaves Smoothie's head amongst the pumpkins because it's now Halloween, and his eyeball, the rabbit eye, moves. Did you guys catch that?
I didn't. She brought it to my attention.
So the rabbit eye moves. Now, I'm sure that he's dead because obviously
his head's off
his shoulders. But we never got an explanation for why the rabbit eye would move independent of him. So maybe the rabbit eye is still something, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just rolling around in his dead head now.
Or maybe the rabbit eye keeps him alive. And maybe if he just gets attached to another body, he just becomes a body.
Who knows?
I wouldn't put it past this show.
You never know what's going to happen on this show right here. Let's talk about predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
OMG. What are your predictions for
Freeze.
season 3?
Hayley goes rogue on everyone. Mm-hmm. Nick Sax. I don't know. All I could say is Hayley. Mm-hmm. My only prediction that comes to mind is Hayley just now becoming like her father. Mm-hmm. Happy. Evolving even more and now possibly being the most powerful thing on the show. Mm-hmm. And Orcus, I don't know.
My predictions. So the show ends with Amanda's in prison, Hailey says to her, I'm coming to get you, because Mary now has custody of Hailey.
Yeah.
Mary, who is now a member of the Blue Feather Society, which is the sisters who are whose job it is to bring down the demigods who are still on Earth. We know now that Happy is one of those demigods, just sort of early in his development. I feel like next season is going to be Mary and the Blue Feather sisters trying to take down Happy and Orcus, while Orcus is trying to take down Happy. And Happy is evolving into whatever it is he's going to be. And he somehow is going to use his new powers to help counteract Orcus's control of Nick, because now Nick belongs to Orcus. So I think Happy's going to try to save Nick from Orcus, and while they're battling each other, the Blue Feather chicks are going to be coming to destroy everybody. And I think Hailey is going to be trained as sort of a little assassin. I think that she's going to be a little assassin. You know, you see Mary take her gun out and put it in the glove compartment in front of Hailey. I don't know. I feel like no one treats Hailey like a kid anymore, and Hailey doesn't think of herself as a kid anymore.
She's not a kid anymore.
She's not a kid anymore. And
so how she sat inside the car, she put her feet on top of the dashboard.
Yeah.
Like,
just,
you know what I'm saying?
Poor kid. She's like twisted AF at this point.
Yeah.
So, you know, she's going to get her mom. So I feel like Hailey's about to be acting out like in a very serious way. Mary's going to have her hands full trying to like keep her safe. Hailey's going to be like going out on like adventures to save her mom, and maybe even with the Blue Feather people. I think Happy is going to evolve even more. And next season, I think we're going to get to see, by the end of next season, we're going to get to see kind of the fullness of everything Happy can become. And there's going to be some awesome supernatural stuff next year.
I think so, too.
Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. I feel like, you know, we're done with the Wishies. We're done with Sonny Shine.
Thank God.
So, and they did such a perfect... They were so perfect in how they created a new adversary for us, so that even though we're done with Sunny and we're done with Smoothie, we still have plenty of people that we have to fight next season.
For all of you writers out there and people who want to create a show, seriously, watch this show and really pay close attention, because this is what you call textbook writing and creating on all levels.
And it's like, it's even beyond textbook, because they're doing stuff that is so weird and crazy.
Right.
I mean,
right.
you know, and like, you know, you couldn't have done this show, 5 years ago, right? So now it's like, this show is so well written and so well planned.
Yeah.
That like, I cannot wait for next season. Christopher Maloney, Patton Oswalt coming back, everybody coming back, so that we can have a happy life with Happy on Sci-Fi and here at AfterBuzz TV. Guys, it's been so great to hang out with you tonight. We've had a blast doing this after show with you this season.
Kaboom.
Boom all over the place. Make sure that you've subscribed so that you can find out when we come back next season. And make sure that you like us and follow us everywhere. You can find Ricky Vitucci. Where can we find you, Ricky?
On Instagram at Ricky Vitucci. That's the only thing I'm basically on. So follow me, comment, do what you gotta do, say what's up.
Holla.
And
I am Nikki Bailey. You can find me at Nikki Bailey _ on all the social medias and at NikkiBaileyComedy.com. I'm also about to start the after show for Good Omens, so find out when that's coming on and check it out. We will see you guys for season 3 of Happy here at AfterBuzz TV.
Thank you, everyone.
Our founder, Kevin Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.